review here. Who's ready for some fun? Okay then, how about this? Who's ready for some unintentional fun? Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. Well, you're in luck because right here are the top 10 games that are so bad that they're good. Here we go! Lollipop Chainsaw. Pretty much everything by Suda51 isn't supposed to be taken seriously, and none more so than Lollipop Chainsaw. This hack and slash beat 'em up game gets you playing as a high school cheerleader called Juliet Starling, who's just an ordinary schoolgirl who comes from a family of monster hunters. As your school gets taken over by zombies, a demonic horde, and pretty much everything you can think of, it is up to Juliet and her stupidly short cheerleader outfit to take both her chainsaw to the fight, as well as the talking severed head of her boyfriend. Yep, pretty much don't need to explain this one anymore. This game is supposed to be ridiculous and over the top, but unfortunately, this has rendered it unamusing. So much so in fact, that it's actually quite amusing. We're supposed to be laughing at the ridiculousness of what's happening, but instead, we're just laughing at the game itself, meaning that we're having fun. Duke Nukem Forever! Nothing was ever going to be able to top the 3D entry into the series, and no sequel was ever going to be able to live up to the hype that Duke Forever set. It only makes it hurt that much more when Duke Nukem Forever was released, only for it to turn out to be a complete disappointment. That's not to say that this game isn't hilarious though. Load up the game and pow, you're pissing into a urinal. And before you leave the lab you can pick up shit and start throwing it about the place. You can sign a kid's book by drawing cocks all over it. You spend an entire level in a strip joint just messing around and either getting lap dances or causing small amounts of mischief. And in later levels you can even slap alien wall boobs. It's so immature and there's so much tongue-in-cheek fun to be had. Goat Simulator! This is a game that everyone needs to play. It's the type of game you play when you've got nothing else to do, and you just want to play something that doesn't require a lot of effort, but will keep you laughing and glued to the screen for the next hour or so. The reason why this game is low on this list is because it's intentionally bad. It's bugged and glitched, but that only adds to the fun. The developers knew this and decided to add more bugs just to keep the fun going. You play as a goat in a small village, or city, or satanic castle, there's a few maps to choose from. And your goal is to cause as much mayhem and chaos as you can by being as annoying as possible. Whether that be running into someone's house and wrecking up the place, or going to a petrol station and blowing it up by ramming it. You can take part in Goat Fight Club. If you're lucky, you can catapult yourself into the air and attach yourself to a helicopter that's flying around. And if that's not enough, there's an expansion pack that allows you to enter a medieval RPG setting and play as a walking microwave. Because goats, y'all.
Lane Goodman.
Rumble Roses XX. What? I just like the wrestling is all. Sneak King! This one's so stupid and I love it. You play as the Burger King as you go around sneaking up on unsuspecting victims so that you can jump out at them and give them a burger meal! There's something so wrong with this idea, about a bearded man hiding in the shadows and sneaking up on people all mischievously. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a predator, and not the Arnold Schwarzenegger type. Deadly Premonition! This game is a lot like Marmite in that you either love it or you hate it. The game screams low budget, the graphics are terrible, the controls are awful, the story is ridiculous, the lip sync is completely off, and just the general feel is just so strange. It's hard to describe this game. It's one of those games where you have to play it for yourselves. Which you should. Yep, I'm firmly established in the I frigging love this game camp. I'll be the first to admit that this game has flaws like a British Conservative politician's reasoning, but there's just so much charm and intrigue to be found here. But I honestly think that its low budget and cheesy animations just adds to the experience. Playing this is like watching a Van Damme movie. It's god-awful to watch, and the acting and the story is terrible, but there's just so much character and charm to it that you can't help but smile and be glad that you experienced it again. Okay, this entry is done, so go play it. Kinect Star Wars! Oh my god, broken just doesn't do this game justice. And the tutorial is such a tease as the Kinect is very responsive there, but then you get to the main game and what the f*** to the max. Nothing gets registered properly, and most of the time your attacks and actions are delayed. But let's cut to the chase, shall we? The Galactic Dance-Off. Never before have I seen such an out-of-place game feature in any game that I've played. I can't play this mode without literally laughing my fucking arse off. The Star Warsified songs, the characters all performing unnatural dance moves that you never expected them to do. If you asked Darth Vader to bust a move, he'd probably choke you. It's just so bad that I can't help but love this game purely for this game mode. The New Testament... What? What am I looking at? Okay, now I have to play this game some more. You can't expect any sane, rational gamer to look at this and think that they're not going to try this one out. What's worse is that this is actually a wrestling game. You get to beat the shit out of famous biblical characters. Fucking sign me up, brother. Big rigs over the road racing. You see that? You see that? This is why rushing a game out the door before testing it is never a good idea. Unless you're the developers of Big Rigs, of course, in which case just throw the thing out there and it'll turn into a cult classic instantly. You may remember this one from my top 10 worst games video, and it still stands as one of the worst. But because nothing works properly, you'll find that you can do stuff in it that you'd never think you'd be able to do before. Like driving through ghost buildings, or driving at 80 miles an hour up a vertical cliff, or even reversing at 100 miles an hour. And best of all, you can't lose. The AI truck never moves, meaning that you are winner every time. Yes, you are winner. Congratulations. Piece of shit.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Cocked your hand to the side and said I'm angry.
Ride to Hell Retribution. Oh, you didn't think I forgot about you, did you? Yes, come on. The #1 best worst video game out there is the hilariously broken game Ride to Hell Retribution. Laughable cutscenes where everyone's jaws are dislocated, enemy corpses that transform into jets and rocket into the air upon death, bugs and glitches as far as the eye can see, and who can forget fully clothed sex scenes that I'm still convinced isn't actually sex. A game designed by 12-year-olds, but not for 12-year-olds. Or anyone. Ride to Hell Retribution is one game that everyone should play at least once, and should be owned by any gamer who is a connoisseur of bad video games, and so here it is at #1. And another one's done, and another one's done because another one bites the dust, but if you're capable of reversing at 100 miles an hour, then like this video and subscribe to my channel. Alternatively, there is detailed information of how to talk with a dislocated jaw on my Twitter page, on @true_reviewer, and I'll see all of you lovely, lovely people next time. See ya!